Alright, what's good, folks? Dark Dre 19, yo, and welcome back to another What If. I believe this is What If Naruto was the son of Obito and female Kakashi, part 5. Where we last left off, it was between Kunato and Sakura against Itachi and Kusame. And, Kunato and Sakura were able to, evade Itachi and Kusame's advances long enough for Jiraiya to come in for the save. As, Itachi, not wanting to deal with Asani right now, would, make his escape. And, my guy would come in doing his thing and finally, informing the group of what happened to Kakashi. So, I keep saying, Jiraiya would finally set out on a new mission with the two to find Lady Tsunade. So, that's where we start this. So, that's where we're starting the story, with Kunato and Sakura beginning their new mission with Jiraiya to find Tsunade so she can heal Kakashi from her last fight against Itachi. And as the journey goes on, Sakura would question Jiraiya about Tsunade, what she is and what she's like. And Jiraiya would say, "My word, what are they teaching you at the academy? Tsunade is a ninja you girls can look up to. She's the strongest kunoichi out there, and not only is her healing abilities top notch, but the strength of her attacks are deadly. Hell, Sakura, thanks to training with Naruto, you're almost like a mini Tsunade, but I believe you should learn from the real deal. But you, Kunato, I plan on teaching you a jutsu that will even match Naruto's lightning blade." And this would put a smile on Kunato's face, as Jiraiya would teach her the Rasengan. They would go through all the different steps with the water balloon, the rubber ball, and I think there was something else I can't completely remember. But and as the journey continues, the three would finally come across a small town which is host of many bars, clubs, and gambling areas, just many other places that are not for the young to see. As Jiraiya would speak up, saying, "If she's anywhere, she's most likely in a bar." So the three would separate and begin their search across the town. And back at the Leaf, Obito Uchiha, the 5th Hokage, would be walking through his village, trying to keep out of sight of his purple-haired Anbu guard, who keeps trying to get him back to his office so he can finish his paperwork. But you know how these Kages be. They're a lot at paperwork. But but it, for Obito, it doesn't really help when civilians who see him would bow and say his name quite loud. So, Obito would try to wave them off, not wanting to be caught, but it would be too late, as a female Anbu would body flicker next to Obito, as she, speaks up, saying, "Lord Fifth, I have found you," as Obito would say. Yes, you have. So, what are you gonna do now? As Ugaya would say, my lord, you can't keep doing this. You need to finish your work. As Ugaya would dash towards Obito, trying to, grab him, but before she can even lay a finger on him, she would phase right through, falling on her, face, or technically mask. As Obito was, I can't believe you fell for that again. See ya. As Obito would begin to kamui himself out of there, to Ugayo's embarrassment. And meanwhile, in the training field, Rin would be watching over Naruto, who is training with his Black Lightning Blade. And yeah, I bet y'all forgot that Rin is still alive in this what if. And as Naruto's training goes on, Rin would notice that his focus is wavering as, sweat drips from his brow. So she would speak up saying, Naruto, you seem unfocused. Are you okay? As Naruto, wiping the sweat away, would say, I should have been there, but I just should have been there for her. And since I wasn't, my mother's in the hospital, Auntie Rin. As Rin would say, don't worry yourself, my dear nephew. Kakashi is one of the strongest Kunoichis out there. I'm sure she'll be up on her feet in no time. As Rin would only smile, which makes Naruto feel better, as he would go back to his training. And so yeah, as we move back to the others who are in town, Kunato would be running around checking as many bars as she can and asking folks around until she would end up hearing a conversation from a group of guys talking about a big titty chick practically drinking the whole bar. So, get the information from the group of men and finally return to Jiraiya and Sakura, as all three would find a blonde woman having the time of her life. As Jiraiya would say, Tsunade, it's been a while. How have you been? As Tsunade would, look up from her drink saying, Jiraiya, what the hell are you doing here? And who are these brats? Jiraiya, taking his seat, would say, the pink-haired one is Sakura Haruno, someone who I'd like you to teach. And the redhead girl is Minato and Kushina's kid, Kunato. But, let's cut to the chase. We need you to come back to the village. Come back to Konoha and heal the 5th Hokage's wife. As Tsunade would say, ah, yes, the Uchiha's very own Cyclops. Finally became the Hokage, huh? As Kunato excitedly speaks up, saying, "Yeah, Uncle Obito is the best. No one can beat him. I plan on being the first female Hokage and be strong like my uncle and father." As you know, Tsunade in her drunken state, so not really having a filter, would say, "Someone so strong, yet he couldn't even protect his wife." As Kunato really taking that statement well, would say, "Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?" Man, Tsunade was like, "Well, I'm just saying, the job for Hokage is for dead men only. So, yeah, I'd suggest you don't become the first dead female." As you know, Kunato, quite upset, would kind of get up in Tsunade's face, saying, "How could you say such things?" While Jiraiya, trying to calm her down, saying, "Kunato, keep your voice down." While Kunato's like, "No, I won't just sit here and listen to this bimbo disrespecting my uncle and father." While Tsunade, not liking that remark, would also get up in Kunato's face, saying, "You better watch your tone, kid. Who are you calling a bimbo?" That's Kunato saying, "The lady who was the strongest Kunoichi until my aunt took that title away. While you drink here like a slob, I bet I can beat you myself." As Tsunade would lean back in her chair, saying, "Oh, is that a challenge, little girl?" As Suzune, yeah, I haven't forgot about her. Suzune would, try and calm down the situation, but, the drunk Gilf was way too pissed at right now. So, yeah, the two would, finally step out, as Sakura would try to convince Kunato not to do this, but she's way too pissed right now. As Tsunade would be across on one of the road, and Kunato would be on the other side of the road. As the two would, stare down at each other for a while, until the fight would finally begin, as Kunato would charge against Tsunade, going in with a few taijutsu punches and kicks. And Tsunade, even in her drunken state, she's still able to easily block Kunato with her skills, but those taijutsu joints was merely a distraction, as a shadow clone who used the I don't completely remember what it's called, the Earth Burial Tomb shit, the underground joint that Kakashi used and Naruto used at the against Neji. a clone, yeah, just whatever, a clone, yeah, would pop out of the ground, kneeing Tsunade in the stomach, which wasn't really, which she wasn't really expecting. And because of that, knee to the stomach, that the pain and the adrenaline would sober her up. Would sober her up as she would, take this fight a little bit more seriously. As she, would flick the clone, poofing it away, and then palming Kunato in her stomach as she goes flying. But Kunato, would recover. Would recover as she goes in charging towards Tsunade. As Tsunade would, do that one finger thing, as she did against did against a Canon Naruto, as she would hit the ground with her finger, cracking it. But Kunato, seeing this, would use the chakra train, stabbing it into the building and kind of flinging her away from the destroyed ground. As Tsunade was quite impressed at the fact that that Kunato, even though being a half Uzumaki, was able to unlock the chakra chains. As Kunato would try to attack Tsunade with these chains to either stab her or wrap the chains around her to drain some chakra. But Tsunade would quite easily dodge each chain, knocking them away with various taijutsu skills that she has. As Naruto would finally land on the ground, and tired of this, would form an imperfect Rasengan charging towards Tsunade. And even though she was her Rasengan was right there, Tsunade would easily grab her arm that was holding the Rasengan, pull it up, and flick Kunato in the forehead, sending her flying, flying again, and knocking her out. Yeah, Kunato loses. And so, yeah, as strong as Kunato was, she was not, expecting that much power from Tsunade. And I know someone's gonna probably bring up in my older parts that Kunato, Sakura, and Sasuke was able to fend off against Orochimaru and all. But that was when Kunato, pretty much had a team on her back, at her side. And the fact that she was, using the Nine-Tails chakra. She wasn't using the Nine-Tails chakra in this fight. So yeah, she loses. And story break here. Speaking of Nine-Tails chakra, I'm sure y'all saw that new fight between Naruto and that Otsutsuki dude, whatever the fuck his name is. That shit was fire, wasn't it? But we move on from that as we just get back to this. As Tsunade would speak up, reveling in her victory, would say, yes, you guys are gonna have to find yourself another healer. But before Tsunade can head back inside the bar, a black swirl would appear as two people would come out. As Sakura smiling would say, Naruto and Rin Sensei. As Rin, kind of blushing as, that little anime type sweat would, come down. So I would say, sorry for, interrupting your mission, you guys, but Naruto was getting a little too impatient. So we came to pick you guys up. If you already got Tsunade, that is. As Tsunade would speak up saying, nope, they already lost a bet, so I don't plan on coming back to Konoha. As she would, still try and go back inside the bar, but Naruto would step right in front of Tsunade. As he would look Tsunade, he would look up and down Tsunade, as he's a little disappointed. As he would kind of speak up saying, Lady Tsunade, you are needed back in the village as a healer. As Tsunade would say, listen kid, I don't know who you think you are, but yeah, before Tsunade would, before that, sentence would go on, Tsunade would be cut off as a gray Susanoo arm would slap her to the ground, pretty much knocking her out. And so somebody like, bro, you made Tsunade look like a joke, and I was like, no, I mean, yeah, sort of, but at this point she's in her drunk, she's still sure she's a little bit sober, but she was still in her drunken state. And Naruto already said that he had a 2-year gap than the other three, that he's 2 years older than them. So, and the fact that he has the Intergekyo Sharingan, and he's being trained by the strongest Hokage right now, and probably the strongest Shadow Hokage, which is Kakashi, and many others. So yeah, at this point, Naruto is no joke. So Naruto would speak up saying, alright you guys, it's time to get back to the village. So yeah, everyone would calmly back to the village as Tsunade would meet Obito. And Tsunade, seeing that she lost to Naruto, she would just decide to stay, healing Kakashi and the others who need it. And so that Sasuke is already with Orochimaru, there will be no retrieval arc. And as well, there will be no retrieval arc. And we're at the point where Kunato would be on her training trip with Jiraiya, just like Ken and Naruto, the 3-year training trip. Sakura would be training with Tsunade, and as for this Naruto, he will also be outside the village, as he's been hearing rumors about Uchihas who were able to escape the massacre. And in order to truly revive his clan, Naruto must find these refugees and convince them that the leaf is safe for all Uchihas. And as for Obito and Kakashi, well, as the Shadow Hokage, as a Shadow Kage, Kakashi, she's been, sticking by Obito, helping him in his duties as an Hokage, and also other fun activities that may get Naruto a sibling. Wink, wink. But that's besides the point, as 3 years would pass, which would make this picture right here make sense, as a long-haired redhead beauty would make her way towards the Leaf Gate, as a guard would notice, as he would speak up saying, "Whoa, Kunato, is that you?" As the other guards would look in that direction and begin to check out the fine ass looking Uzumaki. As Kunato would speak up saying, "Yeah, it's nice to be back in Konoha. I really missed the place. As a white-haired fellow would follow from behind, as Jiraiya would speak up saying, "Kunato, my word, you just ran off out of nowhere. Jeez, I'm old here. Don't do that to me, but whatever. I'm gonna report to the Hokage. Make sure you head there when you're done checking around the village or whatever." As she would say, "Right, pervy sage." As Kunato would take off, jumping across buildings and whatnot, and she would do that cannon thing Naruto did when he was on the fucking water bin or whatever it's called, water tank. So yeah, Kunato would be on the water tank, walking, as she would walk around the village until she'd meet up with Shino, actually recognizing him instead of taking so long, because she's not an idiot, which makes Shino happy, as Kiba would finally come around. She would pet Akamaru, saying hi to Kiba. Kiba would try to make the move, and would try to make the moves on Kunato, but it wouldn't really work. And Hinata, not she is still shy, but since Kunato is a girl, she's not really too shy around her. So yeah, they would say hi to each other, as it would just go on and on. I don't know, go on and on, as Kunato would finally make her way towards the Hokage's mansion, opening the door, only to see Kakashi reading her new book that got from Jiraiya. Yeah, I'm not. I don't care if Kakashi's a female. I'm not taking away the fact that she likes those books. Because it would make no sense, and it would take away what's so endearing about Kakashi. And that's one of the things we like about Kakashi. I'm saying, the things that can make him human. So yeah, female Kakashi would be reading her new book. Jiraiya would be trying to hit Tsunade, and the fifth Hokage, Obito, would be speaking with Sakura, until Obito would finally notice Kunato at the door, as he would smile, saying, "Oh, Kunato, you've grown well." As she would say, "Yes, Uncle, I mean Lord Fifth." And Sakura, "Look at you. you look, you look strong and developed. As as Hinata would sort of notice Sakura's, chest area, as kind of bigger than Hinata's. As Sakura to say, well, yeah, Lady Tsunade has been teaching me some secrets of her own. As the two would kind of embrace as Kunata would be a little jealous of Sakura. And if some of you are wondering why is there a picture of a female Neji, anyone who's seen the other parts should already know that Neji is a female in this, and she's a part of the ship along with Sakura and Kunato for Naruto. So yeah, just it's how it is. So yeah, the two would disperse from their embrace, and before the conversation could go any further, the Abu Yugayo would enter the room, as she would say, "My lord, your son has finally returned, and it seems that he's brought others." As Obito, happy to hear that, would calmly everyone in the office to the front gates as they wait. And as they wait for a while, as from their shadows they would see a, let's say, 6'2" young man walk towards the village with a group of people following. Black hair flowing, as he has the iconic mask on as his his outfit. Let's just say it's it has the similar shinobi pants I know in love, with the black sandals and all, with skin tight black shirt with a white cloak, a white cloak similar to Sasuke, but it's white, flowing in the wind as he walks towards the village, being followed by refugees wearing the Uchiha symbol. And how will this go? I don't know. We'll just have to see on the next part. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just how it is. We're finally in Shippuden. Yay. And I wonder what other what ifs I'm gonna do. What other what if I'm gonna do next? Maybe you guys can leave it in the comments. Maybe another part of this, or another part of my other what ifs, or maybe a brand new what if. I don't know. We'll see. But that's besides the point. Thank you for listening, good folks, and goodbye.